This is the Team Objection podcast for August 2nd, 2018, episode 353. Michelle is away because today is her birthday, the day that we're recording, not the day of the show.
She didn't want to celebrate with us, huh?
No.
You know, I texted her. I texted her earlier and was like, "Hey, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Are you recording tonight? We can say happy birthday on the podcast." No, I'm going to go out for drinks. Oh, well, okay, bye.
She had a chance to celebrate it with us.
Mm-hmm.
She's going out for like some kind of weird like Aztec tequila. I don't even understand what she was saying.
Is that better than regular tequila?
I don't know, Dave. I don't know anything about it. It's probably
I don't know.
sucks.
I don't know. I'm not a tequila drinker. It's just not very good unless it's in with a lot of other mixings in a margarita.
She's going to go get trashed, and we are going to trash her
Aha.
on the show.
Ooh, that was
Synergy.
good. That was so good.
Wasn't that good?
How long has it been since we've had just the three of us?
I think it was somewhat recently.
Did we
it
have
was
one
the-
that was?
It was after the NBA draft lottery. We talked about the Suns for
Okay.
45 minutes.
And then before
yeah.
that, I think was a long time.
I think
Yes.
that's true.
Yeah. So you're right. There was one within the last few months, but this is the OG crew, and it's been a while. So now we have to talk about all the things that are important.
Time to bring the sausage fest back.
Hell yes. All the
I
sausage,
love sausage.
in
Man.
my mouth.
It's boys' night on
Hell
the
yes.
podcast. And we are going to get raunchy.
It is after dark right
Just
now.
kidding. I don't even know what to. I don't do anything with my free time, so I saw Uncle Drew, Dave.
Oh, I actually do want to see that. Was it any good?
Yeah, it's super good. So it's like a spiritual sequel to Space Jam.
What?
Yeah, because it's like you watch it because you want. Like the best part of Space Jam is when they get all the NBA players doing like funny stuff, and it's like a comedy, and that's what this movie is. Oh, this one's a lot funnier. It's about as plausible as Space Jam.
Okay.
So there's that too.
Yeah.
At one point, a character who has not walked in probably 50 years, 30 years maybe,
It's irrelevant at that point.
gets up and goes, it's Nate Robinson, so he gets up and dunks it. And you're like, yeah, that seems physically possible for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Because, you figure anytime I see basketball in movies that are not about basketball, it's like the only thing that you can do in basketball that's cool is dunking.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. So it's weird to have a movie with an NBA player in it. It's like, wow, we got to show this guy dunking because that's the only thing that's cool.
Well, and that's what I like about this movie. So I always have problems with basketball movies because they don't look like they're playing real basketball.
Yeah,
you know, they'll drive a lane and it's wide open and they'll dunk it. And you're like, that's not what it's like. This movie kind of has that. I mean, because they have real NBA players, you don't want anybody to get hurt, actually. But there's like shooting, passing, nice passes, like it's legit. And they get Aaron Gordon. So like while there is dunking, he's putting his elbow through the freaking rim. So like it's
it's a
even
dunk
that
contest.
is better.
Yeah.
What
So
is
how many-
the best basketball movie for basketball action, and why is it White Men Can't Jump?
I've never seen White Man Can't Jump, so I don't know if that's true. But
I think you would
I'll
actually
believe
like
you.
it. There's like off-ball screens, and it's all half court, and it's playground, but still some of the best basketball action I've ever seen, to be honest.
It's not bad. He Got Game is probably the best one for that because
Yeah.
Denzel and Ray Allen actually are literally playing. Like the script was supposed to call for one thing, and then Denzel played really hard, and Ray Allen was kind of ticked off at him.
Oh yeah, right.
That's another
'Cause-
good one.
I can only imagine how that must feel to be Ray Allen because I think the script was like Ray Allen's character was supposed to shut out his dad, the Denzel character, and then Denzel scored the first bucket, and Ray Allen was like, "Hey, this wasn't supposed to happen. I'm in the NBA. He scored on me. No,
So is Denzel Washington actually good at basketball, or did he just get lucky?
he's not bad. I mean, he's not NBA caliber, but he's not bad.
Maybe he is. Maybe he's like Bill Murray in Space Jam.
Yeah.
Bill Murray's retired though.
That's
so,
true. He had that one, albeit very important game.
He had one assist, right?
He had, but it was a big assist. The world we know it might be very different had he not been there to make that assist.
I welcome our Monstar overlords.
Yeah.
Well, wait, they weren't going to take over our world. They were just going to take Michael Jordan, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, still, it's very different. He wouldn't come back and win 3 more championships.
But why stop there? I mean, who's going to stop them if the planet's best basketball players couldn't stop them then? They're just going to come back eventually. You know they're going to get greedy.
What do you think Space Jam 2 is going to be about with LeBron James?
Well,
Ask
will
yourself.
it be LeBron cementing him as the greatest basketball player ever? Because in this reality, Michael Jordan didn't come back and win 3 titles.
What?
So LeBron is the best.
What do you think it would take if Space Jam 2 ever happens with LeBron for Michael Jordan to do a cameo in it? Is it a huge sum of money? Is it him sucking up his pride? Is it even possible at all?
I could only imagine it's basically getting down, like metaphorically getting down your knees and filleting Michael Jordan in the movie. That's like the only way. Basically, LeBron saying, "Yep, Michael, you're better than me." That's like the only way he would show up in the movie, I think.
Money.
Like the Brinks truck, you just back it up.
Absorbent amount of money.
What does he need it for? Like,
Good question.
I imagine they back up the truck and it has oodles of money in it, and it dumps it out onto black on a blackjack or a roulette table. Like he just immediately gambles it all right away because he can't help himself.
a chance to go back in time and not choose, I don't know, Adam, what's his face?
Adam Morrison?
Yeah.
And
Or Kwame
someone
Brown.
else. Yeah, Kwame Brown. That's probably more pressing even.
Or Frank Kaminsky or Tyler Zeller.
Hey,
He's
those
got a
guys-
Just a
bad
time
track-
machine permanently.
Those guys are at least both rotation players. At least they're not out of the league.
True.
If you get Michael Jordan a time machine, I think he would be a cameo in Space Jam 2. You know what, though? That's another thing to get back to Uncle Drew, because our listeners are like, please, more Uncle Drew. The acting is really good. Seriously, and I jokingly say Michael Jordan is great in Space Jam. He's not. I think he is a little better than he gets credit for, but like he's not like good. This is legitimately good acting from almost everyone involved.
Who are the NBA players in it besides Kyrie Irving, obviously?
Reggie Miller, who's probably the worst actor.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But he's fine still. I'm going in order of acting. Probably, let's see, who's next? Nate Robinson does not really say much, so it's hard to judge him. But I mean, he's effective in what he's playing. He looks like a sad old man.
So he plays himself. Okay. Real life.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Shaq is Shaq, so like very charismatic, not necessarily like taking on a new persona. He's just Shaq, but it's funny. He has a line where he's like, "Pass the ball, Kobe." It's like that's funny. And then Chris Webber is by far the best actor in the whole movie.
I love his. People rip on him, but I love his color commentary. On TNT. I think he's the best.
Chris Webber truly takes on another character and sells it. Like he's this like Baptist priest. At one point, he's like baptizing a baby, and he's like, it's great. It's so good. He sells it so hard. Yeah, and then Lisa Leslie's in it, and she's good too.
Yeah,
actually,
I've seen her on TV. She's not bad. She can hold her own. And then Aaron Gordon doesn't say much.
Yeah, he's not good. He is not good, but NBA play. I mean,
look at the college he went to.
I don't know what college he went
That's
to.
a weird casting to me.
It went to the University of Arizona.
Yeah, I gotta wonder why Aaron Gordon. I'm sure it has to do with he's good, but he's not like.
But why him of any modern, currently still playing NBA player?
I'm sure they tried to get better. I mean, he's
just
like
go down the list.
But if they want to get a flashy player, because like he'll like drop back and like he is on fire from 3 in this movie. That's not really Aaron Gordon in real life, except for like a month of the season. So
yeah,
they could make him look however good they needed to from the perimeter, and then he's over dunking on people.
that's true. One of the best,
looks
one of the
amazing.
best, both out of game and in game dunkers. So
And
there's some merit to that.
And he looks good. I mean,
He's slick as hell.
yeah. I mean,
He looks like an
muscles.
NBA player. There's no doubt about
He
that.
sure does.
Especially for today's prototype. Like that's an NBA player.
And you know, Kyrie Irving was surprisingly good. Because he was really like Chris Webber was over the top as this character. Kyrie Irving was he was almost like a straight man kind of the whole movie. Just an old, like a lot of the humor didn't come from him being like outrageous. Like he wasn't like a Jim Carrey, you know?
He's
good.
In that movie, is Uncle Drew, a character Kyrie Irving plays, or is it just a character in the movie? If you know what I mean, like is Kyrie Irving a character in the movie and then turns into Uncle Drew, or is just Uncle Drew the whole time?
Kyrie Irving, Chris Webber, Reggie Miller, those are all characters in this movie. So Uncle Drew, and actually it's really clever. The movie starts out with like 30 by 30 ESPN thing about like Uncle Drew, like back in the day, like a little mockumentary. It was really cool. He literally broke someone's ankles at one point. He won a game eating a ham sandwich. Like it's really funny.
As I don't know if have you actually seen the little YouTube video or whatever he did when he first dressed up as Uncle Drew and went to like Rucker Park in New York?
No,
I have. Yeah,
it's solid. So like anyone who's listening who hasn't heard about this before, Kyrie Irving, good point guard, went and dressed up as an old man and went to Rucker Park and said, "Hey, can I get in a game?" And people were looking at him like, "The hell's this guy gonna do? Like this is Hollywood level makeup. He looks like an old man."
Oh yeah.
And then he starts, he starts out slow, like hits a couple shots. It's like, hey, that guy can shoot. And then he starts crossing between his legs, and then he starts crossing people up, and then he starts dunking, and they're like, what the hell's going on right now?
That's awesome.
Imagine people losing their minds because they have no idea that it's a plant of sorts, and they're just like, what in the hell is happening?
Well, I'm telling Maisie, like, just so you know, Kyrie Irving, arguably best handles in the game today.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's up there, if not the best.
He's probably number one.
So in the movie, you get like, he'll cross somebody over, and yeah, it's a movie, and I'm sure there's some separation because, again, you don't want anybody getting hurt, but it looks good. Like, he crossed somebody over, you're like, God damn, that was nice. And like, that's what I really liked. And Maisie liked it, and she doesn't really care about the NBA. She didn't get a lot of the inside jokes when Kyrie said, all right, Chris, or whatever his character's name was, it's getting to the end of the game. We have no timeouts left. And he's like, oh, are you sure? He's like, I'm positive. And it was like, she laughed at that part because it was kind of funny, but then I explained like the context, and she's like, oh my God, that's so funny. And I was so happy they went there. I really was.
I like that Chris Webber just owns it at this point. It's like, look, I had a good career. Like, make fun of me for it. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't want to take anything away from him because I also think he's underrated as a color commentator. But like, he also has to at this point. Yeah. There's no escaping what happened. He might as well embrace it because it's the only way to get it to go away. So good on him.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree. God, that's pretty funny. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good. I mean, there's not like, again, when and this is not a huge spoiler. It's not like the movie's wildly unpredictable, but he gets his sneakers back after he cannot walk. He's in a wheelchair. He can't walk. Puts on the sneakers, stands up, and his granddaughter's like, oh my God, like he's standing. This is amazing. And then he runs up and dumps it. You're like, all right.
Here we are.
Okay.
I like it.
It's a miracle.
Yeah. That's
Speaking of movies, I saw a relatively new movie that just came out.
Oh my
God.
I saw the Purge, first Purge.
Oh no.
What'd you think? That
so
those movies, they have like a cult following despite like none of them being very good.
So here's the thing. I literally have watched all of them, all four of them in like the last 2 weeks, because it was just one of those like, hey, I'm kind of interested to see what they do with this movie. And then I just watched them sequentially. It's not good. Like none of them are good. It's such an interesting concept that I feel like if they weren't horror survival movies, they could be really good, like commentary, like social commentary and really good backstory. And instead, they're just not, they have no depth whatsoever.
Is the second one the best?
Anarchy? I actually liked Election Year more.
Oh, I've heard that too, actually, I think.
But Anarchy was good. It was fine.
I like Frank Grillo.
He was in both.
One of the two.
Yeah, Grillo. He was in both of them. He was in Anarchy and Election Year.
Yeah.
So it was good. But spoilers on the newer one.
No.
The first Purge was all about, obviously the first Purge, and they do it as a test on Staten Island. And so in the beginning of it, like there wasn't enough people killing each other. So they literally send in like militias to just mow people down in these apartment buildings. And the whole idea is to show that this is a success. People started killing each other to release their anger. And I'm like, how would this not get out that the government hired militia to just kill people? The whole premise is shot now because people would get out.
Isn't that, and maybe that's the commentary, is that they're saying it's successful, it gets the anger out, and then it's not. Like maybe that's the point but I think it was a lot more compelling when it was true. And these actually did work. Who knows? I mean, in real life, that I don't think this would be the case, but I still think it's fascinating to think about.
I have a theory on that if you gave people the chance to do whatever they want on one night a year, I think it would actually work out worse, because I think some people get a taste of it and want to do it more than once a year. Now, the socioeconomic things where the poor kill each other, yeah, that would help crime and poverty, in the sense that if they're dead, they can't be poor, right?
But yeah, I mean, sure.
Yeah. Dead men spend no coins.
Yeah.
It's awfully cavalier of you, Dave, as a 1%er, to be suggesting this is a solution.
Yeah.
Oh God, no! This would be the worst thing you could possibly do. I
also have to just take a moment to take a shot at Dave here. And I was going to do it before the show, and I forgot. Dave, you make $90,000 a year. Why haven't you bought a camera still?
Because every time I think about it, it's like Monday night.
Get on Amazon.
Yeah, you have an Amazon hub in
do it
Phoenix.
right
you can
now.
probably still get it Tuesday.
I'll buy one right now.
It'll be on your doorstep by the time we finish the show.
I don't know if that'll work, but yes, I will have one next week.
I think it's sad when Rick and Morty had the best purge out of all of the purges.
They did
by
That's
far.
such a good episode.
It might be my favorite episode of that entire show. It's up there. And
they did a good job with that one.
it was just a parody of the movies, and they
know.
got better than the movies did. That's the best example of a high concept that sells, and that's it.
Yeah, it's funny. They didn't even really try to like mask it. They just basically took the exact same premise and somehow made it better.
Gary, when he used to review movies at the paper, he would play a game where he'd be like, basically saying like, what was the log line alone that got this movie greenlit? And I feel like that it was a joke, but that's exactly like The Purge.
Yeah.
It was a one paragraph concept. They're like, yes, make a movie.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. Or like some people call it the elevator pitch.
Oh, yeah.
What did you say to this executive in the time you had going up 20 floors that somehow got this project greenlit? Because it's not self-evident.
Yeah.
What the hell did you manage to do? Although some things work on that level. I mean, The Purge is a good example of that, where the less exposure you have to it, the better. Because on paper, like this, it seems like an outstanding concept, and then the execution, you're like, oh,
that doesn't work at all.
Whoops! I had such hopes, and then this happened.
Well, the less exposure you have to it is going to get ruined, because apparently they're making a TV show coming out in September.
Interesting.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ride the wave.
See, the funny thing is, I think the TV show might be better because they won't have the budget to do as many violent things on it. So I think it could be better than the movies because they have to do a little more plot.
You don't know that.
Fair. I mean, I would imagine that if it's on cable or network TV, they're not going to show the amount of blood and guts that they showed in the movie.
Well, you could be right, but it depends. Is it like on AMC? Because they get away with a ridiculous amount of gore.
Yep.
If it's, you know that, you watch Walking Dead. If it's, ABC, it's going to be pretty tame. If it's HBO, it's going to arguably be worse than the movies.
All bets are off.
USA.
Okay,
USA Network and Sci-Fi.
It'll be pretty tame.
Pretty tame.
Yeah.
USA known for such hard-hitting shows as Psych and Monk.
Yeah.
Definitely got to go full gore on this one.
So I don't know. I'm almost semi-interested because I feel like they have to do something other than the survival horror, blood and guts type of trope that's been going on. So maybe.
Man, I hope so. I've been burned by... I was really excited about like Taken, the TV show. Bad. It's just bad.
What? I don't know where you can go besides Liam Neeson.
Well, it was a prequel. It was a prequel.
Oh, okay.
Watch how Brian Mills becomes Brian Mills. I was like, cool. And it was terrible. I guess. I never saw it, but the reviews were awful, and I think it didn't even make it through a full season.
That's, yeah. You have a good concept and can't go anywhere with it.
There was another one. I know they're doing a Lord of the Rings TV show now. That could be cool, but like I don't know. I'm nervous. Every time they try to do it, it sucks.
No, it's just it ends up being, they people expect the movie and then they don't have the budget for it and then they just don't have the quality or writing it. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to ever work out. They don't have the same magic, whatever it is. So,
Dave, we are going to see Fallout this week.
Mission
and I'm
Impossible.
So excited.
I was like, there's a movie about the Fallout games?
Right. No.
Can't fight the friction. That's the theme song.
I was telling people at work that if I was going to go see that, and I don't think I will, but there's a chance, and if the friction is not in the movie, I'm walking out.
Oh, it won't be in the movie.
I'm out.
So you're gonna have
and
to
it probably won't
walk
be.
out.
You're right, unless it's in the credits or something, which I still doubt. But yeah, I'm out.
Well, so if the song "Friction" is in the end credits, well, then good, walk out of the movie, right, Chris?
Yeah, but I'm going to walk out in a huff. I'm not just going to get up and tamely walk out as if I just enjoyed my experience. I'm going to stomp my feet. I'm going to yell at the ushers. I'm going to be pissed.
Like the credits are going to be going like no animals were harmed in the making of this movie, and so they're done. And Chris, unbelievable!
You call this a movie?
And then Tom Cruise is waiting in the exit. How'd you like the movie, sir?
Just punch him in the face.
Yeah, exactly. You have to punch really far down.
Punch him.
No Imagine Dragons. Not one song. Not even Radioactive.
You sucked them off to play that in all 700,000 of your trailers, and you wouldn't get it once for the movie?
I do think that it's really interesting looking at this is one of the best openings they've ever had. It might be the best one for this series. And I'm thinking back, and I'm like, what has had more of which of the movies have had more of a marketing push than this one? I don't know that there was one. Rogue Nation had almost nothing. Their only trailer was Tom Cruise and the plane that played on Facebook like a week before the movie came out. And that was it. And that was in the first 2 minutes of the movie too. So you're all excited. How are they going to do this? And then it's over. That's like a roller coaster you're excited for, and the drop is 1 second in, and then the rest of the roller coaster is nothing.
It's chicka, 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 chicka. Wee! Okay, you're done.
And that's just level the whole way till you get back to the
and
starting
then it's
point.
level for another 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just relax and kick back.
How many movies are in this series now? 5?
This is 6.
6, damn. Wow.
Yeah, it's got some staying power. It also goes almost 20 years now.
Yeah, okay, so it's Fast and the Furious and Mission Impossible, just side by side pretty much, right?
Yeah.
It kind of is, yeah.
Tom Cruise, Dave, do you know how old he is in Fallout?
His character or he himself?
Well, him.
Oh, okay, he's 58, 59 now?
56. He's 56 in this one.
And even if you don't love these movies, you got to give him props for doing almost all of his own stunts still, especially as crazy as some of the stuff in that series has gotten.
That's my dad's age.
I know.
Yeah, can you see your dad running on anything?
In that signature Tom Cruise style.
I want you to know, so he has a scene, Dave, in Rogue Nation. We could probably fill a whole freaking, not that we'd want to, but a whole episode of Tom Cruise stunts. But there's a scene in the last movie where he holds his breath, like in the scene in the film is he has to hold his breath in this like underwater chamber for, I think, 4 minutes. He trained his own in real life to hold his breath for 6 minutes.
But you die.
No, that's what I thought. You got to look it up. Apparently, a lot has changed. The last time I looked up holding your breath, people are doing it for like 15 minutes now.
What?
Yeah.
Everything I've ever heard is that if your brain doesn't get oxygen for 6 minutes, you're brain dead.
Yeah, I know. But somebody brought up a good point that like if you hold your breath, and then you're holding it, you're not technically out of oxygen for that 15 minutes. You sucked in the oxygen, and your body is like holding on to it and
using it slowly over time. But it's not like you just accidentally swallowed a whole bunch of water in your lungs and now there's nothing in there.
Yeah.
Where that's 6 minutes, if not less.
Look it up. Look it up. Now, okay, again, I don't know. He says 6 minutes. I didn't see a video of him doing it for 6 minutes. I believe he did it for an outrageous amount of time, though. So maybe not 6 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. That's crazy.
Anything over like 90 seconds is an outrageous amount of time.
Yeah,
for
me too. I agree with you completely.
Yep.
Because you used to do that when you're a kid, like the holding your breath contest, and you count to like 20, and you're like, okay, I had to come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, or if you're doing it in a tunnel. It's more of an East Coast thing, but hold your breath through the whole tunnel where it's bad luck.
Oh,
so if you're driving through, you gotta go
and
you drive through the tunnel. But there's like the one long one on I-70 that I going west from Denver to come home, and it's like a 2 mile or 2.5 mile tunnel. I'm like, that's not happening.
Nope.
I'll die. Especially if I'm driving, that's not happening.
So
I have a hard enough time on the Phoenix tunnel, the one that goes through Central Phoenix. It's just like the
deck park,
the bridge that the one that finished the I-10. It's like that's not even half a mile.
Yeah, 30 seconds maybe.
Yeah.
A really bad idea for radio is if we have a hold our breath contest at the end of the show. That's like that's at least 60 seconds, I think, for all of us of just dead air.
Well, one of us has to be vamping instead of holding their breath. There's no way around that.
But that's what I think would be hilarious and why it's such a bad idea is we're all competing.
We could just have 6 minutes of silence at the very end of the episode and then at the very end just go,
yeah, there you go.
I said we take the Strong Bad album and we just put something secret at the end. So that people who stuck around, but we like put 20 minutes of silence at the end, something obnoxious, and we just see who stuck it out.
Yeah,
and we go,
yeah,
man, that was hard. We did it though. Take that, Tom. Ha.
But dude, Tom Cruise, man, I'm telling you, so the stunt where he's on the outside of the plane, Dave, like he did that. Now there were cables, and all sorts of shit,
and the plane wasn't flying.
I don't think that's true. I literally think they had him attached and the plane was in the air.
It would have to be really low altitude in that instance because otherwise you'd pass out.
It probably was. I didn't say he went to the stratosphere, Dave. And I don't
Or better yet, just get a wind machine.
Wait, why are you saying you have to be super low altitude or you pass out? I've jumped out of a plane and I pass out.
Well, it depends on how long you're up there.
If you're filming a 5-minute scene in the thin air of 30,000 feet at cruising altitude, you're probably not making it through.
And again, I don't think you've seen this scene, Dave. It goes up, and the shot, and probably where they cut it, is not that high in the air. But the camera's there, and you see the plane leave the ground, and it's on like the front of the plane looking to the back, and he's just hanging on the door.
And to be fair, if he can hold his breath for 5 minutes underwater, he can hold his breath for 5 minutes in space. He's been training for this his whole life, or at least for this movie.
All right, well, maybe, and if so, props to him. But also I'd want to do it a little safer, where I just get a wind machine.
Yeah, but you can't a wind machine. You don't know anything about filming your own stunts.
Apparently not. I don't know why you can't hold on to a plane.
Yeah, that part when you think about you did it with cable, sure, but like when you're thinking about the character in the movie, you're like, I don't know about that. Like there's a grading, so like there's a way to get your grip there. I just don't know if you have the grip strength. I don't know what the drag would feel like. Probably super intense.
It depends on how high up you are, because if you are higher up, the air is thinner, so it'd be a little easier. But then again, it depends if you're moving 500 miles an hour in a jet. You're not going to hold on very easily.
No, it's like an old cargo plane. And again, like the main part of the scene is taking off on the runway and going up for like 20 seconds or so.
Yeah.
I would try it. You guys, have I told you that? I think I have. I don't care. I'm going to say it again. My dream is for them to revive Fear Factor and me to go on Fear Factor. I would love that. Hey, whatever.
What do you want to do?
I would win.
He wants to do the stunts. I don't know if he wants to do the eating the weird shit.
Yeah, eating the weird shit is what I would do to get to the stunts.
Right.
I just hope, and I hope they're not watching this because then they'll do it. I hope I'm not like in a thing where like I'm being crawled on by like 1,000 spiders or something. That's probably like eating stuff, or probably eating a live spider. Spiders. I don't like the spiders. Or like scorpions, like stuff like that. But like eating like the gross stuff, like cow balls or like raw whatever,
horse
like
testicles, yeah,
whatever.
Penis.
Yeah, that's all fine.
Yeah,
I'd be like, cool, trying new food. How rare and exotic. But they do some cool ass stunts in that show. There's like there's one where like there's a taxi cab suspended in like way high, and they have to jump onto it. And then, like, get inside of it. It's like, who thinks of this stuff? It's so cool, though. And going on an airplane would be like the scene that they would do in Fear Factor.
And you do your own stunts, Shaun. How cool are you?
Stunts. I would win Fear Factor, too. And then they would have a best of episode later, and they would invite me back, and I'd win that one, too.
There's a comedian I remember a while back that was talking about Fear Factor when it was on. And he said, why would you ever be honest on that application? Let's see. What am I most afraid of? I'm afraid of blowjobs. Yep. Afraid of those. Terrified. Never want to get one of those.
I actually would. Obviously, I want to be on the show, so I wouldn't answer that. But I would not say what my worst fears actually are. Of course.
Yeah, you got to try and set like a reasonable middle ground.
Being crawled on by a bunch of snakes. A lot of people don't like that. I don't think I would care.
As long as they're not poisonous, I'm totally fine with it.
You're not going to think you're never in like actual death danger on this show, so they're not going to be poisonous.
That's not the kind of waiver they're going to have you sign.
Yeah. But there was one so they have some episodes where like they're like off, and they had one where like there's two trucks driving together and you had to like make your way across or whatever. That's badass. There was another where they dip you upside down in a vat of water and you have to hold your breath. And I'm like, that's lame.
That sounds awful.
Well, I mean, but it's lame. It's like, send me up into the sky, you know?
Yeah.
Let me do something cool.
That's funny that so many people are afraid of like going up in the sky, because honestly, drowning sounds like the worst thing that you could possibly have happen to you. That's like one of the biggest fears of how I go out.
It's iffy though. So like fire, burning to death is terrible, right?
Yes.
Drowning is also terrible for all the time you're like, oh my God, I'm drowning. But then allegedly you get very euphoric right before you actually die from drowning. So if you're thinking of all the ways to go, and probably bullet to the head is the best, quickest, but drowning might not be too bad. Freezing to death probably is similar. You do get that euphoric sensation freezing to death.
You get the warm, hypothermia, warm feeling in your chest.
So that's,
I don't know, but see, I still think of drowning like Dave is like the worst for some reason. I don't know why. I'm not really that scared of it per se, but like even as much as I love Casino Royale, I get a little bit upset when I watch Vesper forcibly like, yep, I'm just going to kill myself now. So here we go. Buy water, come into my lungs. Let's do this. And I'm like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Not a fan of that.
It's just there's scenes like there's a scene in The Simpsons in an episode years ago where Bart got kicked into a box that was sinking into water, and you just see he's inside this box and the water's filling it up. Or like in the scene in Tangled when they're stuck in the cave where all the water's filling up. It's like that's like anxiety.
Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, same idea. Pod goes off the cliff into the water. They can't get out. I'm like, oh no, I don't like this.
Have you seen those? There's these like videos of people who go spelunking and it's like tight ass quarters. Like they're far underground and they reach a narrow part and they're like scraping through their back and their stomach, scraping along the ground. They are like, and then one guy gets stuck between this hole and there's water dripping in this little spot and it's filling up this little chamber that he's in. And he's like, and they're filming it and he's like, hey guys, I'm gonna need you to pull me out. This is filling up in here. I'm like, wow, you are a pro. I would be freaking my shit.
So the funny thing is, like, if I knew I had people to help me out in that instance, I'd be a lot less scared. But like, there's people who go spelunking in unexplored caves that go by themselves.
Yep.
And that's like fear number 2 of me, is getting stuck in an area where you can't move at all. Like, I'm not claustrophobic in the least, except when it comes to I can't move in any way, shape, or form. That sounds awful.
Yeah, so Kill Bill, Buried Alive.
Oh God,
not a fan of that scene.
No.
Because when I picture myself, when I watch it, I'm like, I'm fine. This is fine. Like, I don't have no problem with it. But if I imagine myself in the box, then I start going, oh shit, oh fuck, oh shit, oh no, why no, please no. I don't want this.
That would be pretty bad. That very bad. I think slightly worse is like the cave where at least, and this is not a law, but at least in a coffin you can move and it's tight or whatever, but like you can breathe freely until you run out of oxygen. There's nothing compressing you down and you can move. In this cave, like we're talking about, if you're stuck, holy shit. I go to Six Flags and sometimes, because I'm an idiot, they have the thing that goes over and it clicks. And I'm like, I want this to be so tight. So I take a deep breath and I click it in and then it's stuck and I can't like take full breaths anymore, and that's pretty terrible.
Yeah, that would be pretty
the
bad.
whole ride. I'm just because I'm not gonna ask them to fix it because they're gonna be like, yeah, sure, and then it's gonna be loose when I'm going on the ride. I'm gonna
just fly right off.
Yeah,
right into the sun. There you go.
You know the worst thing about the cave, getting stuck in the cave, you can breathe just fine if there's enough oxygen. Like there's a chamber on the other side or something like that has oxygen in it. You can breathe just fine. So you're just gonna be there for a week before you pass out thirst or hunger or something like that, you know?
Dude, yes.
That's
also
awful.
This reminded me of a Baywatch episode, or like there's like a Baywatch knockoff, like I don't know, something Coast or whatever. And there was an episode where these characters get stuck in this cave and they have to find their way out. And like if they don't do it in a certain amount of time, all the water's going to rise in this cavern. So they have to, and they're going down in a tunnel that's underwater, and and they don't know where it's going to come up or if it's going to come up. They're hoping. And I was like, that would mess me up.
Yeah.
That would be real bad to go down and you're like, how far? I would probably end up going like really slow, right? Like a few feet in the back and then a few more feet in the back and then a few more feet in the back. But at some point, like, you got to just try it and you have to go so far where you won't be able to make it back. And that worse, that messes with me.
That sounds awful.
Yeah. So don't do that in Fear Factor.
Yeah.
Also, you're watching a Baywatch knockoff. What the hell?
Yeah.
I don't know.
People always worry about like the chamber that fills up with water. And I get that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that's good. But to me, the one that's the worst is the cave where the water is stagnant and it's up by the ceiling. So you have just enough where you can like poke your head up and get oxygen, but you don't know where the escape is, like you guys were talking about. So it's just like this perpetual unease for God knows how long. And maybe you starve to death in the interim too, because you don't know where to go. You can live, but is that really living?
Especially if the water is dark, so you can't really see.
There's no light. So you just have to go down, feel around in the dark, and then pop up for air, and then go, oh, God, that didn't work.
You're going to get tired at some point, too. Like and you can float maybe, but God. Yeah, that sounds like hell.
Sounds miserable.
Yep, that whole scene in Tangled. Welcome to the kids' movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least that was short.
Yeah, and she had glowing hair. That helped.
Imagine if there was an animated Joe Rogan, and at the end when they got out there because of her hair.
Apparently fear.
It's not a factor for you.
That'd be great.
That's the sequel.
I would like that a lot.
What a terrible show.
Look, there had its moments. Like Shaun said, some of the stunts were cool.
Dude, Fear Factor was badass.
Anytime the eating challenges happened, they were kind of fun at first, and then by the end you're like, oh, look, it's the horse penis again. Everybody thinks it's gross, especially the girls. Boy, this is a great 10 minutes of my life.
I also didn't like their pandering. Like, every episode was either super jacked guy or, like, really fake girl, like, huge boobs that are fake, and like every episode it was the same like type of person.
Well, and the worst of that, and also Dog Eat Dog, was when they got people who were there clearly just on their looks and didn't have any physical prowess. So you'd watch these people do these kind of cool scenes that you wanted to do, and they were a waste of space because they would fall off the first second.
Yeah, I was like, I've been training for this.
Why are you on the show? Oh, you got paid. Oh, well, great.
Put me on, Joe.
So, Shaun, do you not even need to get paid to be on this show?
No, and that's the thing that's funny, because I was about to say, they're always like, there's a lot of like the interviews like no one gives a shit about, and I just really want to do this. $100,000 could like really change my life. And I'm there like, honestly, I'm just here to do the stunts. I'm not going to turn away $100,000, but this is just what an experience. Wow. I can't wait, man. Hire me. I would be good. You know what I would be good at too? Survivor. I always thought I'd be really good at that game.
I don't think you would do well with the politics.
I would do great with the You're right. I would not do good. I would do great with the politics.
No.
We had this thing. I swear
that
to you.
That was a politician thing to say right there, though.
No, we already know this
you're
didn't work.
Right.
We tried this in 2016. It did not go anywhere.
What was it?
Your presidential campaign.
No. That's real politics. I was in this group in middle school where I was the mole. And my team had the best strategy for figuring out the mole because the rules weren't very good. So they were like, it was something where like, we're just going to go through and we're going to guess every person. Because there was no detriment to that. And I had to work my way out of that. And I did it and I won. And I'm going to play these people on Survivor. You're going to see.
It doesn't matter though. And here's why. Even if you can do okay at the politics, which I don't know that you can, but let's say you're right. You are way too competitive to half-ass the challenges, and you're going to get voted off because you're too strong of a candidate.
No, I'm going to be like, Kobe, I think his name was, where he just won every challenge. So they were like, we're going to vote you off as soon as you lose. You better watch your back. And he was like, all right. And then he didn't lose, and he just kept winning. That's my goal. Can't vote me off if I don't lose. Plus, in the beginning, they vote off the weakest link, too.
Oh yeah,
so I'm fine there. I think
the beginning will be great, but then when it's down to like 3,
it's
just like weakest link. The 3, whenever you go down to 3 people, the 2 other people go, oh shit, we can't beat that one, and you're gone.
Yep, that is a concern, but I just gotta not lose. I gotta be like Kobe. I don't know if that's his name. I really hope it is.
Kobe.
But this is season 2 of Survivor, and all this for like probably 8 episodes. We're like, okay, as soon as he loses, we all gotta vote him off. He's too good. And then he just never lost again. It was amazing. That's what
I can't believe that show is still on the air.
I didn't know that it was.
So is Real World.
Yeah.
So is Big Brother.
Yeah, you want throwbacks to the late 90s. They're all still kicking. Those were like the original 3, and they're all still going.
Road Rules was another one I really always wanted to be on.
But not Amazing Race. I never really thought Amazing Race was that cool.
I don't even know what they do besides race, I guess.
And it's amazing. So
amazing.
Road Rules was similar to Real World, but like competition. Mm-hmm. And then they'd have Road Rules meets Real World, and that's fine because it's still competition, so that's good. But yeah, so that's the thing. I'm not competitive, Dave, in the sense where like if I lose, I'm gonna like, yeah, you know this. When we play basketball, I lose, I'm not like slamming shit.
Nope.
But as you also know, we're like, let's just play a casual game of 21. I'm like, okay, on the ground.
There is no casual for you.
I don't have like a low speed.
There's no half speed. That's the problem.
There's no half speed.
If you needed to disguise how good you were for like a challenge or two just to get some heat off your radar, it's not happening. Because you're going to be like, that guy's doing better than me. I'm going to kick his ass. And you're going to be like, wait, am I supposed to go half-ass, but your body's already going?
Here's what it is. If I feel like I can't win, if there's a competition where it's like hold your breath, for example, I'd be like, whatever, I won't even try. Because it's not something I'm good at. If I think I have a shot at winning, I'm going to go for it. I am absolutely going to go for it.
And the best part is if you don't win, you will want to continue going until you do win.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to be like, no, host.
Listen, Jeff, we're doing the challenge again.
It's not because they've done ones where like you have to hang for like, I don't know, for a ridiculous amount of time, and that's all. Like I was like, I can do that. That's easy. You know,
that is not easy for me,
relatively speaking. I'll hang for whatever. They did one on Road Rules. Like there was a car made of ice, and you had to hold it. There had to be one part of your body touching the ice at all times. I was like, I could do that. I think just got to be strategic. One guy was a dipshit, put his foot on it, and was like, I'm fine, I'm just going to leave it there. And his foot went numb. So he didn't realize it had just like, it was off at some point. And then he lost. And his team was like, you suck. And he was like, I don't care. I banged Felicia or I don't know, whatever. And
in
a lot of that.
Couldn't you just like, I imagine wearing clothing. Couldn't you just sit on it?
No, you're on the side of it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're on the side.
I was going to say, because I would just lean on it. Be like, yep, I got this one. I got clothing on. I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It might have been more complicated than that. But, I mean, the idea is, yeah, I can do ice, whatever.
I'm actually imagining Shaun on Double Dare. And the reason is,
the kids.
Right, because the kids are all, they're like terrible at it. And you're like, come on. And your teammate, you're yelling at him. The other team, you're boasting on them.
Guts was always my dream. Horrible game show format, but would have been fun as a kid.
I mean, some of those games just looked cool.
Yeah.
They probably weren't even that
so
fun.
Many of them.
But they all looked neat.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like the idea of like bungee jump down with ball, sort of flail it at a hoop, because there was barely basketball in any sense whatsoever, but it was supposed to look like it, and you're like, cool, I guess.
The bungee, those ones are the worst. The bungee jump down, throw something in, because the bungee was so out of control. It was like, jump down. Ah!
Yeah, and your arm just kind of flail forward, and the ball sort of goes in that direction, but it goes over and hits a Moira instead. You're like, oh, God, my wife.
I would have gone to dunk it every time.
You would not have. You would have choked yourself to
No,
death.
I would have. And they would have been like, sir, you can't. And I'd be like, shh, just let me do this. I can do it. I can do it!
I have to power dunk. It's my imperative.
It's my destiny. I can't power dunk in real life. I got to power dunk on the trampoline.
You've brought back memories now of that show, though, when like the kid would mess up and just hang by the bungee cord, and he'd be like, I can't move. Like, he loses his momentum and just hangs there.
Yeah, because you had to keep jumping back and forth, and if you lost that momentum, you couldn't scurry back up the steps to get to where the balls were. So you just sit there going...
They didn't like pull him in at any point? They just sat there for the rest of the time?
Yeah, there's like 30 seconds in the competition or a minute in the competition or whatever it is. So the other two are still going, and they're just hanging there like, I got to reach the mat. I can't.
Yeah, Legends of the Hidden Temple had a couple that were like that too, where it was like once either momentum stopped or you got out of rhythm, you were just done, and you were stuck there for 20 seconds on national television.
I think I'd be okay because I'm fat enough. So the way you always run into in like bungee cords and like zip lines is if you're too light and then you don't get the full distance. Oh, I have plenty of girth.
Maybe back in the day, not now.
I have plenty of girth still, Dave. I'm a girthy boy.
I want to spend an entire episode talking only about Legends of the Hidden Temple and Guts, and I think we already did that to some extent, and I don't care.
I think we did.
We time capsuled it
Guts,
or something.
Guts is in the time capsule for sure. I'm pretty sure Legend of the Hidden Temple got. Is that time capsule? I think it was probably both.
I think we've done more than that. I think we've done like maybe full episodes where we've done like each game show or something. But man, I could talk all day about game shows, and it's like my dream. It really is.
Have you guys?
And then I'd probably get on and like choke and do terribly.
Have you guys ever taken the Jeopardy test?
No.
Hell no.
My dad has.
I've done it a few times and never gotten called back.
No.
So I don't know if I just did awful or.
Dave,
I thought I did well last time.
Athletic game shows, not Jeopardy. We know you could do Jeopardy. Chris could do Wheel of Fortune. I could do.
You could eat a horse penis.
I could eat a horse. I could do that one.
And you could also go on Fear Factor.
Yeah. Either one works. What I would not like is like Jackass, because like every once in a while something they do is cool, but most of the time it's stupid, and I wouldn't want to do that.
I remember watching that movie. It was like one funny skit and then 20 minutes of not funny and then one 5-second thing. And it's like, okay,
welcome to Jackass.
This one thing was funny. Oh no, this one thing was funny, and then nothing funny for a long time.
Yep.
Turns out that would have been much more successful as like a series of YouTube shorts.
Oh, I know. It was before its time in that instance.
Then you just consume what you want and you ignore all the chaff and you go, okay, that's great. I got what I wanted out of that video. Screw that video. Click. See ya.
Yep. There was the funniest thing I ever saw them do was they put like a sign on the wall and it had big writing and then it got smaller as it went down. So everyone had to lean in to the reading to see what the sign said, and then a boxing glove came out and punched him.
Sounds like Jackass, but that's kind of funny.
And just the way it worked, because everyone would lean in closer, bam!
That reminds me of that one where there was a prank where like someone pops out of a trash can dressed as like a murderer. They were like wearing a costume.
Yeah.
And they do it in a high school. And somebody popped, and they show like, I believe they show a clip of like, rah, and people, freak out, they fall on the ground, whatever. And then one time he pops out, and this guy, no hesitation, cold clocks this guy. And the guy in the trash can just slumps.
Yep.
He just drops back into the trash can.
There were sports teams that were lampooning that for a couple of years.
Yeah.
With staged ones, but the mascot would do it as a prank, and somebody would deck him who was a plant. Because that was such a popular thing.
Yeah. No, this was legit. And the guy cold clocks him. The guy collapses back in the trash. You don't know where he is. He goes beyond the plane of the trash can. And the guy's like still like, he's still freaking out. He still doesn't quite know what has happened. Man, I wish I had that instinct. I would be screaming and running. Like fight or flight, which is not true. Do you realize, Dave, fight or flight or stand there completely paralyzed and do nothing? That is the third one that they never talk about.
That is strange that would have made it through the evolutionary chain, because that feels like the certain death.
Right. Maisie is very much paralyzed
by fear.
She collapses into the fetal position.
Yeah, but it doesn't rhyme.
Right.
That's why I never caught on. Fight or flight, or I might not do anything.
Yeah. I wish I was fight, because that would be cool. Don't mess with me. I'm flight. I'm halfway down the street before you.
No, I'm gone.
Yeah. My friend picked up a spider one time and was like, he just like started to gesture to me, and I was like, back at my house. It was like 3 blocks away.
From 150 miles away, I can then kind of assess the situation and decide if I want to fight.
Yeah.
Ultimately. Yeah. But in that first instinct, it's, I'm gone.
No, I was.
But if you're fight, you're going to deck Maisie one time when she scares you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
That's what I was thinking, is like, she comes to work one day with a black eye, and it's like, what happened to you? Or is everything okay at home? Oh, no, it's okay. I yelled surprise at Shaun.
Yeah, exactly.
I fell down the stairs.
Yeah, have you guys ever had a flight reaction where you like almost without even thinking you're running before you even realize it?
Not running. I've jumped, like did a jump back and then look and think, okay, everything's fine. But not running.
Oh,
no.
yeah, I do. I've done the run, and it's cool because your legs they almost feel like jello or something. You don't even like feel it. You're just like, boom, you're gone. Your legs feel very weird.
No, I've not had that
rubber
happen
bandy, you know?
Actually, nope, take that back. I take that back. That has happened once. I was a freshman or sophomore in high school, and Chris, you might remember this. There was a dick at my school that was always a jerk to me, and so we're playing football, and he hit me while we were playing football. So I got him back and like blindsided him and knocked him over. And this kid was way bigger than I was. I blindsided him and took the fuck off. I started running so fast.
Did you feel it in your legs?
I didn't, because I was gone to the other side of the field before he even could see that I hit him.
Remember, so this was peak Dave speed, so there was something to it back then.
Do you remember that, Chris? I don't know if you were there.
Yes, I know the story. I don't think I was there for it because I didn't went to the football thing. I was only Frisbee at lunch. But...
Yeah, it was one of those things where like I hit him and then I was on the other side, complete opposite side of the field before I even knew what happened.
You didn't even think about it. You're like, you could have been a hero. You could have stood your ground and everyone been like, oh, Dave's so cool and awesome.
Oh.
No.
No, he would have kicked the shit out of me.
Oh, yeah,
no, he was way bigger than me.
You should have stood over him and teabagged him.
Yeah.
I don't think that was a thing in 2000 when I did that.
You should have made it. You could have been a visionary.
No, you should have made him Patrick Ewing. You were Scottie Pippen.
Just stand over him.
Yeah, and then get in a fight over it because it's what you did in the 90s in the NBA.
Yeah.
And we went full circle.
Yeah, we did.
Isn't that cool? So that's the end of this particular episode. Next week, maybe Michelle will be back. Maybe she'll drink herself to death. Who really knows? But we'll see what happens next Tuesday when we record.
Probably the latter.
Probably the latter.
Bye, Michelle. It was nice knowing you.
Yeah. You lived a great 29 for all of 5 minutes. Terrific.
Mm-hmm.
That's the end of this episode. In between shows, you can find us at our website, objectionnetwork.com, on social media at Team Objection on Facebook and Twitter. You can go to the YouTube page at youtube.com/objectionnetwork for new content there, including our Persona 5 playthrough. And finally, send emails to the show to objectionnetwork@gmail.com. See you next time.